Hello and welcome to another Warcraft III audio commentary. Today we're going to be looking at Game 2 from the best of 3 of the quarterfinals of ZOTAC number 267. This is Turtle Rock, and we're going to go ahead and see that the players are faculty.sokol.n, spawning in as the dark green orc in the lower right side corner of the map, and that's going to be actually at the 4 o'clock position, and it's going to be close spawn against Kenshin, spawning in as the red human player down here at the lower left or the 6 o'clock position, and he's going to be of course close spawn as well. This is Turtle Rock, and like I said, this is game 2, so see what happens. Now last game, well, I'm not going to talk about last game. Look, the point is that I don't have a point. It's the early game, and I've run out of stuff to say. So let's go ahead and say that this weekend I did cast ZOTAC live, and I did a live cast with Bidu right there. As you can see, I'm actually from his replay vision right now in this game. We cast a couple of the games. I'm not sure. I think we cast 2 of the matches. I think we cast the finals and one of the semifinals, and there's also a bit of footage from the quarterfinals or the other semifinals. I'm not really sure. Some footage was on there as well while we were setting the stream up and getting everything in working order. But we will try to be casting ZOTAC live every weekend from now on, hopefully. Of course, next week will be the last ZOTAC for the next 3 weeks because there's going to be a winter break and no ZOTAC for 2 weeks after next week. So there is that, but next week our goal is at any rate to go ahead and be casting, and we might not, if we can't cast next week, we'll definitely be able to cast when ZOTAC resumes, or at least very shortly after that, because there's a possibility I might be moving on Saturday, so I might not be able to do so, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully we'll have everything worked out. And so yeah, I just want to let you guys know that. And you can see Kenshin going with Archmage. This game going to be against a Blade Master first. You can see that Archmage trying to run away. Maybe that Blade Master didn't actually quite see him there, and now he's going to come down here and maybe just go ahead and creep out the Kenshin's Ogre Warrior Camp right there, just item creeping. And of course, on this map, Turtle Rock, especially if you're in close spawn position, one of your bigger goals in this kind of matchup is to try to evade your opponent when you're creeping. If you're creeping against an orc, you want to evade the orc. And as you can see, unfortunately, a grunt is pretty much right onto this Archmage, and you can see the Archmage and these footmen are trying to run away from that grunt, losing the grunt. Gonna go ahead and have the grunt caught in vision right there. And now at this point, Kenshin pretty much knows that he doesn't have a lot of time, but he needs to take advantage of what time he does have. We can see him actually militia creeping with this water elemental down here, his own natural green camp, and he knows that he needs to be doing things like that. We can see the Blade Master up here creeping out this green camp as well, and that's actually going to be a bit of an interesting situation for the Blade Master. He's barely able to do so. About lost his Blade Master right there. I'm going to go ahead and wait for a second Windwalk to go ahead and Windwalk and finish creep that camp off. These grunts right here are going to be able to do a lot of damage. They're really just threatening. The grunts really are just threatening the human army. And we're going to see these water elementals be summoned, and we're going to probably see Boots of Speed being picked up right about now once it hits 1900. Yeah, there it is. And just waiting to pick those boots up. Boots of Speed are really nice to have on this map, especially on your Archmage. Your Archmage really always wants Boots of Speed against the Blade Master. As you can see, this Blade Master does have Boots of Speed as well now, and that's because your Archmage is a fairly fragile hero, and if you lose your Archmage to Blade Master just right-clicking it and chasing it all over the map, that's not good. So if you pick up Boots of Speed, you don't have to worry about that as much. We do see these 2 grunts coming in here. They have clearly lost the army from that human player. Going to try to do some harass on that farm. Going to go ahead and have Kenshin use militia for his wood peasants and just force those grunts out of there. Now these grunts are going to go back onto the chase, try to find out where this human player has gone to. And one of the big things that's really nice though about forcing a human player to militia his wood peons is that it actually delays his wood quite a bit. And you know, if you see all of these right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you think about that for a second. That's 6 peasants. They were militia long enough that they probably could have crept out 1 full 10 wood each. So that's about 60 wood that he actually was delayed right there. And it's not a huge amount, but if you think about how much it costs for a building, that's almost half the cost of a building. And in some cases, it is half the cost of a building. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a significant amount of wood, even though it's not a huge amount. But we do see now these grunts are going to actually find the human player, just barely. It looks like just going to be chasing around. Maybe this water elemental. Maybe they can't. They should be able to see that, but it's nighttime, so maybe they didn't. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, If we can get the camera control to work, you can see looks like a Fire Lord being picked up as the second hero for Kenshin, and Militia coming over here. So Kenshin now at level 2 on this Archmage, going to come over here, and SoKol is just now hitting tier 2, and this could be a dangerous push. We can see there's a huge number of units right here. Let's see, that's 4 footmen, 5, 6 footmen. Fire Lord, of course, we got the Water Elemental as well as the Lava Spawn coming in here. Lots of Militia. Going to go ahead, and these Militia are going to have a long time around them because it's close spawn. They can run in here very quickly, and down goes one burrow. Of course, the Shadowhunter did have enough time to go ahead and begin to go up now, but we're going to see lots of these peons being picked off, and they are defended footmen, so these burrows really do nothing to them. So now you can see this is going to be a really big situation for SoKol that needs to be getting it out of. And where is his Blade Master? The Blade Master running in here. He's not full on HP on this Blade Master, but he has to start fighting anyway. Right-clicking in on this Fire Lord, trying to force the Fire Lord away. Can do just that. Of course, the Fire Lord no longer has enough mana for another Lava Spawn. Lava Spawns already have been summoned, and we can see that the SoKol's economy right now has been completely shut down. As you can see, nothing is mining whatsoever. And of course, we can see over here at this base, of course, fully operational. This is a massive advantage right now for Kenshin running in here. Even though he's not level 3 on this Archmage, you can see his Fire Lord actually being really chased all the way across the map, literally, by the Blade Master. And we're going to see that Fire Lord will go down right there. And we can see over here that the Blade Master is nowhere near this army, and this Blade Master could be really important in this fight, because without the Blade Master, there's really not a lot of DPS coming in from SoKol's army right here. And as you can see, the Shadowhunter is actually being focused down, really, and he's going to have to be a little careful right there, but he is going to actually be able to defend this push, which is really nice, because it was a really massive push as close spawn, and that Blade Master was not in a significantly good spot to actually deal with that. And we're going to go ahead and see that we might actually see the Shadowhunter going down nonetheless, though. Is there enough mana, a gold for a healing potion? There's not enough gold for a healing potion to be bought, and that Shadowhunter is actually going to be, it looks like he's surrounded right now, and that, a really nice Hex and a crit on that other footman, and a really nice Hex is right there, barely keeping that Shadowhunter alive. Really well done. Gonna have to do something to keep that the Archmage away, blocking the Archmage with the Blade Master. Oh, this is really beautiful. And now you have, of course, that footman coming in here, using these peons right here, keeping them nearby, finally having enough gold being mined to go ahead and buy that healing potion, so keeping the Shadowhunter in the back all the way until, and that footman coming over here and getting 2 hits away from killing that guy, the Shadowhunter, but not going to happen. And you can see this Archmage taking a ton of damage as well, going to run away from the Blade Master. And this Fire Lord is actually now surrounded inside of the Orc's base. Really well done with the Blade Master, and now once again going to go ahead and be able to focus down and kill this Fire Lord. Down goes the Fire Lord, and now you can see this is going to be a nice level 2 being picked up by the Shadowhunter. So really nicely done by SoKol to defend that. Of course, he's still way behind, and if we look, you can see he's at 20 out of 30 food. Of course, casters are now on their way. This is not looking good whatsoever for SoKol. We can see a Source just going to get hexed and killed right there, and if we look over here, we can see that the Archmage is running across the map. Where is the shop? There is no shop up yet for the human player, so he's gonna have to really be careful, because if that Blade Master and Shadowhunter, yes indeed, they come over here, if they can intercept that Archmage, they can actually get a kill, and that could be what is required to turn this game around, just to get a kill onto that Archmage. That would be really nice if he can find it, and it looks like he's going to be able to find it right now. Of course, there is a Sorceress right beside it, but it's not going to matter. It doesn't look like. Down goes the Archmage in 3 hits, a 102 damage crit, a 70 damage backstab, and 1 regular attack, going to be able to kill that Archmage. Of course, the Archmage was very low on HP at that point, but he was just sitting there, and you should never just be sitting there with your Archmage. Always be on the run. If he was running with that Archmage, then 3 hits would have been much harder to get off from that Blade Master, and he might have been able to actually keep it alive. But what do you know? We can see some Militia actually have come into this base, once again just trying to keep the pressure up, trying to delay the economy. He knows he can afford to. Here comes this Fire Lord. This Fire Lord is going to go down once again, almost certainly, because this Blade Master is so much faster than this Fire Lord. Well, he's really not that much faster, I suppose. And actually going to lose the Blade Master at a turn right there. So really nice. But the Shadowhunter is right here. Not enough mana for a Hex. But actually here comes a Sorcerer. So it looks like that Fire Lord actually going to be able to stay alive. Very nicely done by Kenshin. A little bit of a mistake though on SoKol's part. If he had been microing that Blade Master, he probably would have been able to kill that Fire Lord. But here you can see now, it looks like that Fire Lord really not out of danger just yet. He's about to go. Speed Scroll coming in onto the Speed Scroll. And this could go ahead and kill this Fire Lord. Yes, indeed, kills the Fire Lord. Nicely done. Looks like I spoke too soon twice in a row. But either way, Now you can see that the Blade Master is able to just sit in this base, do a lot of damage, and he does have enough mana for a Windwalk, so he's really not in any sort of significant danger here. And of course, these units are doing a very small amount of damage. Of course, there is a dust on the Archmage, not going to really be a huge issue. As you can see, the Blade Master has now been dusted. It just means he's going to back off, and he just needs to last long enough to get these watchtowers up. And as you can see, these are a very aggressive watchtower. Here comes a bestiary, and these watchtowers, it's a double-edged sword, of course, because having them out in the open is going to be very effective at dealing with a very wide radius of damage. That can do damage all around in this big circle, but the problem is they go down very quickly, and of course the magic damage, they go down even faster, and the sorceresses and priests do magic damage. I keep saying I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, once I get a little more mature, we can talk back at the game. You can see this is coming in here with these casters. Gonna go ahead and focus on these watchtower. We do have peons coming over here to try to help repair these once it goes up, but it might not make it up actually. So here we can see now the casters actually do less damage to it as it's being built than once it's up, as you can clearly see. And so that is a double-edged sword as well. Like I was talking about, having them out in the open, not really the greatest idea, but you know what? Sometimes you have to do it. Didn't pay off this game, and now you can see it. Here comes those militia, here comes that Firelord, here comes that Archmage. Of course, the big deal, losing your Firelord 3 times at level 1 is not a huge issue. Not a good thing, but it's not a huge issue because it comes out very quickly. It's only 170 gold to revive. Now you can see Blade Master taking some damage as well, but he's really not going to take enough damage right now. We can see these burrows are really what's in trouble. Here you have a Raider on its way out, but losing your burrows, all the burrows are down now. As you can see, this Orc is severely supply blocked, and he has absolutely no recourse right now. And of course, he doesn't have enough gold right now to buy another healing potion. He does have one healing potion, but he's down to 50 gold, and his army is definitely not going to be able to deal with this. We do see some scout towers coming up right now from Kenshin, so if he wants to stay in this game, he's going to have to do something else. He needs to get more creative. We do have a soul burn onto that Blade Master right now, and of course it does wear off, but that is a dot. It silences him, does damage over time. It's a very significant threat, and he does need to be concerned about it. And what you have now, it looks like invisibility has been researched, which means he's effectively not going to lose another hero. And here comes that soul burn once again. That healing potion is on cooldown. No, it's not. It's barely coming off cooldown then, and it looks like that Blade Master is going to barely get away, and he's going to just go ahead and call a good game. So nicely done, good job, well played by Kenshin, and of course not a bad attempt by Sokol. It was really close, I would say, for him to be able to actually pull through that. But unfortunately, he just needed more time, and he just maybe another 2 minutes and he would have been golden. But either way, it was a really nice game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that crazy tower rush. And that's pretty much all. That's all the games. That's best of 3. So, you know, Kenshin 2-0. Kenshin does move on to the semifinals. And if you'd like to watch our coverage, mine and ZOTAC's, or mine and Bidu's coverage of ZOTAC, there is a link in the description to the Twitch TV account with the VODs there. If you'd like to watch those, that is twitch.tv/Purebe. And again, hopefully we'll be casting that next week as well. And actually, if we do cast it next week, then I will put up a video alerting you guys when it happens. I'll just put up a short little video saying, hey, we're casting this ZOTAC right now. If you guys would like to watch, you can check it out, and we'll have a link and all that stuff there too. So just giving you guys a warning. I'm not sure it's a warning, but just giving you guys an early alert that we might be doing that, and those videos are there if you'd like to watch them. So I will hopefully see you guys next time, and this has been me, and I'm signing out. That's a terrible cheesy. That's a terrible cheesy way to leave a video. Let's just go with what I usually say. What do I usually say? I usually say I don't know I don't remember. But look, I'll see you guys next time.